Alright guys, welcome back. We're gonna do a brake upgrade for the Foxbody here. I haven't touched the brake since I've owned this car, and it's been like 2 years, so I replaced the not rear main seals, the master cylinders, wheel cylinders in the back of the Mustang, and the shoes and all the springs and assemblies, but I haven't touched the front rotor, so we got some really nice drilled and slotted rotors, as you can see. Also got some really nice ceramic pads as well. This is all from Summit Racing. I can link the what I bought in the description, just that way if you guys want to do the same kit, you'll know what to get if it works well for me. So from what I understand, they're ceramic brake pads, so they hopefully will last longer. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Okay, I got the wheels off, and you can see these rotors are pretty well worn. The old slottings and stuff are pretty much gone, and there's a lot of grooves and stuff in them, so it's about time for a change. The pads honestly aren't that bad, but we're going to change it anyways, so that's what we're going to get to here. Okay, so these rotors, they actually don't look terrible, and you can see the pad life is honestly not bad on either of them. As for the rotors, there's a pretty big groove in them. You can feel it with your nail. I actually had issues getting the caliper off because the pads are getting stuck on that lip on the end of the rotor, so it's time for the rotors to get changed. I'm sure there's probably been a couple sets of pads on these guys. So we're gonna go and get to that here next. I gotta get this dust cover off, and it should be good. Alright, so now I got the bearings out of this and just looked at them a little bit. They're, you know, mild wear, nothing super crazy, but I'm gonna go ahead and put new bearings and seals in all these rotors. Might as well since I'm there. So I'm gonna probably do a little bit of a time lapse just for packing the bearings and everything, because I'm gonna do that by hand. I don't have the tool for it, so yeah, there we go. Okay, so tapped in the seal with the dead blow. Bearings all greased up. I think we're ready to go and put this guy on the spindle. Here we go. So just a note to you guys, these are actually directional. I think it has to do with the direction of the grooves and drill areas. So just make sure when you install them, I mean, they have big labels on here, even I could see them. So just keep that in mind when you're installing, if you do this brake kit. Alright, I don't know, maybe I'm just going to have to hit this with my purse and see what happens, because maybe I really just got to push down and grab it. Okay, that's better. I just had to push down really fucking hard for whatever reason. Weird stuff like that happens, you know? It's never, yeah, and I don't have like 1 1/4 inch socket, so I'm gonna use this big chungus. Alright, now we just squish them down so we can get that cotter pin through the hole. Feels pretty good. Spins with relative ease. Obviously you don't want it to spin super easily because that would be not good. Alright. Now we get our brand new cotter pen because we're not cheap on cotter pens at least. That'll work. I organized my tools so now I can't find them. There it is. Just wrap this guy on around. So I don't know if this is like standard procedure for when you do this, but I've seen people who fill up their dust cap with grease, just extra grease, which I think I'm probably just gonna do, just extra precaution. I guess my only concern with doing this would be if the dust cover comes off or extra grease goes out of the dust cover and gets onto the rotor for whatever reason, but I guess that's an easy fix. I'm denting it. Finally smacked her in there. Took long enough. Whew. That was a job. Anyways, how to get this caliper compressed back up. So, what I've learned from doing brake jobs is that if you compress your caliper back up, you want to make sure that your master cylinder is open so that any extra fluid or pressure can come out. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get my giant C-clamp out and my old brake pad and do an old mechanics trick to get this thing pressed back in without the proper tools. Alright, so we got this big old China boy C-clip that we're going to be using here. So whenever you put new pads in, you want to make sure your piston right here is put all the way far back. That way you don't have to worry about not being able to get your pads on because they won't fit. They're brand new, so they're going to have all the meat on them. So they're going to require you to push this piston right here that I'm holding with my thumb all the way back. So what I've seen is they put the old brake pad in there. Oh, if I can get it on there. Oh, there we go. So this guy's on here. I'm gonna get my C-clamp way out. Whew. Still need more. I think this is like a 5-inch C-clamp, so we'll see how it works on this. It'll actually work pretty well here. Alright, so now that I've got a good clamp on it, you can see that piston's going all the way back in there. I just keep turning until it bottoms out. And this brake pad helps distribute that pressure evenly. So that way you're not pushing too much on one side or the other. Alright, that feels like that's about it. So now I'm going to hang my caliper back up, go get my new pads. See, it's nice and flush now, no gap there. So now I'm going to hang this back up on my bungee, and I'm going to go grab my new pads and put those bad boys on here. Alright guys, so this kit comes with some lubricant for the 2 studs that go in the caliper. And then, because of these performance pads, they're supposed to be carbon fiber ceramic. There's a break-in cycle for it, but it comes in the box, so you should be able to read that and follow it if you want to. Obviously, these are going to be for the piston side, and then the other ones are going to be for the other side. of the pad, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to installing these. Alright, so I got the pads in there. I'm gonna make sure these are seated on where they're supposed to be and align this up with the dowels here. I guess they're not dowels, but you know what I mean. So that way I can get these bolts through the hole, I'll grease those up, and should be good. Alright, now I'm just going to be tightening these guys down. That pretty much concludes the brake install. I'm going to be getting a dyno tune done with the Mega Squirt here pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. And if you were curious as to why we needed such big brakes, not only did we do that top end kit, but we've also got some nitros coming up here. So stay tuned for that. It'll be a fun little just at home nitrous install and probably another tune. So anyways, thanks for joining. Hope your project works out. Peace.